What is up, guys? Nico again here with another 3D Printed Profits episode. And today I have with us Cam. Cam, where are you coming from?
Right now I'm stationed in Valdosta, Georgia.
Stationed? What branch of the military are you in?
Air Force.
Air Force? Me too. I was, not anymore. It was a long time ago. Anyway, so we're just gonna dive into Cam's business here a little bit. Talk about how he got started, how it's going. And a couple things before we start, make sure you guys join us in a 3D printing side hustle group. The link for that is in the description below. What we do there is we chat, I do lives. We basically talk about starting your own 3D printing business. And so join us there. It's a lot of fun there. And make sure you guys stay up to the very, very end where I'm going to give you your own product idea for your own 3D printing business. So let's start. Cam, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
So, you just now told us that you're in the military. What is it that you do in the military?
Cybersecurity.
Gotcha. I was a civil engineer. I was CE.
Nice.
So how'd you get into 3D printing, man?
Uh, I've always been a nerd, and then I seen a few years ago the library had a 3D printer, and in Blender I made a wand a while back. I always wanted to 3D print it.
Like a Harry Potter wand?
Did a couple 20-minute video of how to make your own, and thought it'd be really cool to print it. Never did. Never really looked too much into it. Then I seen the library had one.
Mm-hmm.
Asked about it, but you could only use it for base related things. So after that, looked into 3D printing, found some of your videos, some frankly built, and seen maybe I could do it. So I bought a what was it? CR10 S Pro,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's been about a year and a half or so.
Gotcha. And how did you come up with so let's go back. How did you how'd you start your business? What is it exactly that you sell?
So I sell props, helmets, a couple weapons, batarangs, stuff like that. Started recently when I PCS'd here. Actually, we took a little bit of a paid a downgrade basically, and so I wanted to find a way to get extra money. Some of my friends and my wife, they always said after seeing some of the things I 3D printed that I could try selling them. I never looked too much into it until here, and after doing a little bit of research, seeing maybe I could. So I started the Etsy, not really thinking anything, but the first month I made roughly, I think, 1,300. So I figured this was would be really helpful to keep us afloat while we're here, help out with bills and whatnot.
Nice, man. Congratulations. So why props? Like because a machine can print a lot of stuff. So why did you decide to go with props?
Just because I've always been a superhero nerd for the most part, and those were what I started printing first. And after getting into it, learning painting and sanding and all that, I personally think I got somewhat good at it, at least enough for people to want to buy. And it's just what I've been stuck with so far. Well, not stuck, but it's just what I've been good at. So it's what I've been sticking to.
Gotcha. So let's start with the business here a little bit. You mentioned that you made $1,300 in your first month. How much on average are you making a month in the business now?
On average, probably ranges from around 1,000 to 14 at most. I think the
That
most I've made is around 14. The least I made was around 850.
nice, man. So a healthy average would be about $1,200, a little more if not, right?
Yes.
Cool, man. So how did you get your first clients and your first customers? You mentioned Etsy. Did the Etsy algorithm just pick you up? Because for your first month to make that much money is pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah. I was surprised myself because my wife has an Etsy. She does more of custom shirts and stickers and stuff, and
Hmm.
she had made too many sales at the time, so I wasn't going to get my hopes up either. But yeah, I think it was Etsy, and what helped was I started a little bit before Moon Knight came out, and his helmets was one of the things I had. So I think that drew a lot of traffic to my page. Shared links, and I paid for Etsy ads. I paid $1 just to see what that was, and that honestly probably did less than whatever was helping me before that.
Um, so after you made your first $1,000, right? Your first $1,300, what happened then? What did you do with that money? Did you take it and buy more machines? How did you invest that into growing the business?
So more machines. I got some supplies for post processing, some better stuff, electric sander, Dremel, um, stuff for polishing and compound. I got a bigger resin printer, and then I got a second big printer, which was a good thing I did because the CR10 kind of broke on me. So yeah, I got two more printers and then stuff for post process.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Um, and so what happened next? Did you then continue on that path of about $1,000 a month, or was there, little dips in there, but it basically remained, you know,
It basically remained the same. Uh,
okay.
and then using that money, I didn't. So as of right now, not a lot of that money has been going after the printers and stuff for post process. Now a lot has been going back into the business. It's been more helping me and family out financially
Sure.
around, but that's what once we're better off and we start saving more, then I do want to put more into the shop and start growing that more because
Gotcha.
it's been fluctuating, but very little of how much I want eventually to make it go much higher.
Sure. I mean, a steady income is always better than a fluctuating one because it's more predictable, right?
Yep.
So you mentioned that you're using CR10s. Are there any other machines that you're using?
So the original one was CR10. The newest one I got is the Sidewinder X2. And then originally the first resin printer I had was a Photon Mono X. And then I upgraded that to an Elgu Saturn.
Gotcha. Saturns are the best. Love them. So you mentioned you have resin printers, right? What are
Mhm.
you printing with those if you're printing props?
So more the fine detailed things. So yesterday I actually just finished printing the Scorpion's kunai
Gotcha.
and
Okay.
stuff. The more detailed, or even with helmets, the back pieces or the ears that are have detail in it. Those pieces that connect, that probably just better off resin printing.
Gotcha. I agree. Those finer details come out so much nicer on resin. Um, and what filament do you use? What brand filament do you use for your stuff?
It is Overture. PLA.
Overture? Okay. And you don't buy a specific color because you paint them anyway, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mainly stick to black, but I mean it's not a preferred thing
Whatever the cheapest overture is.
for the most part.
Okay. And then do you never mind. I was looking at my questions here. I was like, what? All right. And so how many printers are you up to now?
Now, so two FDM. Well, one FDM because the CR10 I'm still working on fixing, but two resin and one FDM right now.
Gotcha. All right. And so what struggles did you have when you first started in the business?
Time management, probably. Again, I didn't realize.
It's lesson 2 in the course, guys. There's a reason for that. Anyway, sorry.
It's fine. Uh, it's more orders than I predicted or even assumed I was gonna get. Um, so I mean, I gave myself ample time, like 4 to 5 weeks. I give the orders, but still, it was
That's a pretty long lead time.
it is, but it's the I learned early on that customers want it as soon as they order it. So I'm very clear that it takes time. That I'm one person. I have
Gotcha. Okay.
a full-time job, so there's other things, and I put the best quality I can into the print, so it's worth time. But yeah, it's going to take some time, and it usually doesn't take that 4 to 5 weeks, but it's that safety net
I see. So you're telling him 4 to 5 weeks.
will really.
So you overpromise or you're under promise and you over deliver.
Yes.
Right. So say you're going to tell them 45 weeks, but it really comes in two. Happy.
Hmm.
Right. It's a good tactic. Listen up. Um, so so do you paint these and finish them, or do you sell raw prints?
I sell some raw prints. I haven't actually gotten any orders for those,
Really?
but
So they want it all done, finished, and painted.
yep.
Okay. And you're charging for the paint and the post processing time, right?
Yes, probably undercutting myself a little bit there. Not gonna lie. Um, but yes, it's probably not as much as I could, but it's also I don't want to oversell myself. Also,
Okay. And are you using spray paint, or are you using hand paints like acrylics with an airbrush?
uh, air or spray paints for now, but that's another thing I want to invest in is a airbrush for finer detail stuff for better when I want to start doing damaged helmets or battle damage and stuff like that.
Honestly, when I do battle damage, I just go to the driveway and then just scuff it up. You laugh, it works, and
No,
it
I did it for
shows you
one.
the results.
I've done it for one. I have a red hood damaged that I like, but yeah, I've always wanted to try an airbrush, so that's what
And a soldering iron, right?
mhm,
Just a soldering iron if you want to like those like deep cuts. A
got it.
soldering iron is works wonders. Okay. Um, so what have you tried to increase sales to the shop? Like ads, anything like
Majority,
that, free packaging?
majority, not free packaging yet. I add discounts, so if they're returning customers, 10 to 15% sometimes.
Okay.
There's got a few customers that have come back 3 times, so them I've given pretty big discounts for as a thank you. I try to uh, for marketing wise to get out more TikTok videos. I just started an Instagram, got that out.
Okay, we'll be
Uh,
sure to link that in the show notes in the video description. Do you do any design services or print services?
no, not yet. I need to because I was actually looking in my local area and there's no printing services at all. So I think I
Hmm.
could probably start up on that. Uh,
I know a guy who just made $18,000 a month doing a um what do you call that? Prototyping and print services. Might want to
ah,
look into it. He's today's episode.
wow. Yeah, no, that's definitely have to do
See,
more.
you guys watch the show. Watch the show. So is this all just via Etsy?
Yes, right now it is.
So do you have your own website at all?
Not yet.
No. Okay. What about design services? Are you providing those?
Also not yet. I want to before 3D printing, I was in the Blender, not so much 3D modeling as I was more animation. Uh, but I want to go back and get into modeling so I can start providing custom designing and whatnot.
Okay, so you do know how to design stuff though, right?
Simple. Like Kunai's not 2022's Batman Batarang, but a Batarang, a simple one. So simple stuff I can design. Mask and more of the sophisticated stuff, not yet.
And where are you getting the files to print and sell the prints from?
Yosh Studios, Yosh Props, his Patreon is the majority one. Um, there's a new guy, not a new guy, but a new team I just found on Instagram. Probably I'll give you that link also, but he just made a pretty cool file, and I asked him if he wouldn't mind if I sell them and give him part of the cut, and so we just started that. So right now it's other modelers and designers that I've been working with, or at least asking to use to sell.
Sweet, man. And so what else is working today in terms of marketing that's bringing people in? I know you said you tried Etsy ads, right? Is there anything else that's bringing in customers to your Etsy store? Or is it just kind of like let the Etsy algorithm do its work and I'll just be here?
The majority the Etsy algorithm. I wouldn't say word of mouth so much, but people I work with, I know there's been a couple orders from people I indirectly know. And then TikTok has gotten me pretty sure a couple also.
Gotcha. And so how often do you post on TikTok?
I've dropped that late, not dropped, but I've slowed down that recently. But it used to be once every couple of weeks, start to finish build videos sometimes. But I mean, life sometimes gets busy, so the last couple of weeks, not so much.
Sweet, man.
That's another also future goal is to get more on top of that again and keep that building up.
Gotcha. So speaking of future goals, that's really it for all my questions, man. What's the future for Cam? How are we going to grow this thing? More product lines, invest in ads and advertisement for growing the business. What's the future for you?
Yeah, so definitely I want to get into designing so not only am I selling prints, but I can hopefully sell designs or customs. Um, my son, he's 8 years old. He's almost getting old enough. He can start helping me out with sanding and whatnot. Get him on it. I don't want to build it to an empire, obviously, but I want to build it good enough to where it's really comfortable. It's not a huge farming or setup, but it's pretty nice. But I just still have to learn the balance between work life, this hobby slash side hustle, and fatherhood, basically.
Gotcha. And that's all. It's all very difficult. I know when I first started Nico Industries, I was working full time. It was the very, very beginning of a divorce. I was a single dad. I was going to school full time with a 4.0. So yeah, that's how Nico Industries started, you guys. Little history lesson there. And I did it. I was able to do it. So I understand the struggle of time. Totally get it. And I respect it. Cam, thanks for being here, man. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for your time. So I told everybody that if you stay till the very, very end, I'm going to give you your own product idea for when you guys want to start your own 3D printing side business. And today's product idea is just simple. It's picture frames, right? I know everybody has their photos on their phone, but to be honest, when you guys go to a house, I gravitate to the photos and the people of that home. And so how can you frame these photos? Because those photos, they still exist, right? I know we just bought a large canvas of our family portrait. Now, there are no cheap frames for these portraits, especially if you wanted to make them custom with the family insignia, crest, name, whatever. So you guys can have those custom portrait picture frames and specialize in those. So that can be your 3D printing product idea. All right. So again, Cam, thanks for being here, man. I told you guys, tune in Monday through Friday. There's an episode every day, 6 a.m. Pacific. I'll catch you guys later for the next episode of 3D Printed Profits.
Thanks, man.